The star system of Valoran was supposed to be safe. It was a neutral system watched by many races. No wars were allowed here. No battles. No threats. Yet today, fear filled the empty space. Thousands of alien warships poured out of hyperspace like a dark storm. Their hulls were black and sharp. Their engines burned red like angry eyes. The banners of the Korthian Empire glowed across every ship. The Korthians were conquerors. They did not ask. They did not negotiate. They arrived. And worlds surrendered. Inside the Galactic Alliance observation station, dozens of species watched. In silence. Screens showed endless Korthian ships forming perfect attack lines. "They are preparing an ultimatum," said an Andari officer. "Who is their target?" Another asked. No one answered, because everyone already knew. Earth. Human space. Korthians had sent only one message before: surrender your worlds. Become property of the Empire. Or be erased. Most races would have answered with panic. Most races would have begged. Humans did not reply. The Korthians took silence as weakness. Their fleet moved deeper into the system. Then something impossible happened. A single warp flash appeared. One ship. Not a fleet. Not an armada. One ship. Emerged between the Korthian front line and the inner system. The ship was massive, but old. Its hull was scarred. Large sections looked repaired with mismatched armor. Its paint was faded. Long battle marks crossed its surface like scars on skin. The human flagship, only one, gasps filled the station. Where is the rest of their fleet? An observer whispered, "Is this a mistake?" Another said, "Korthian commanders laughed." Visual feeds showed their bridge crews relaxed. "One ship?" a Korthian captain sneered. Humans are desperate. Their sensors scanned the vessel. No. Escort ships. No fighter wings. No. Visible superweapons. Just one battered giant drifting forward. The Korthians opened a channel. A tall armored Korthian appeared on screen. "Human vessel," he said coldly. "Power down your engines. Open your weapon ports. Prepare for inspection and surrender." Silence answered. Seconds passed. Then the human ship responded. The image showed a human. BRIDGEDIM lights, cracked panels. Crew members in worn uniforms. At the center stood a human captain. His face was calm. His eyes were steady. He did not raise his voice. He did not threaten. He spoke only 5 words. "We do not surrender." The channel cut. Shock rippled across the station. Some aliens thought they misheard. The Korthian captain stared in disbelief. Then he laughed. "Fire a warning shot," he ordered. One Korthian cruiser powered its main cannon. A bright beam crossed space. It struck the human ships forward. Shields. Light exploded. Energy rolled across the human hull. When the glare faded. The human ship still moved forward. No damage. No slowdown. The shields glowed once and stabilized. Silence returned. The Korthian bridge grew tense. Impossible. A Korthian sensor officer muttered. Scans updated. Human shield output was rising. Power levels kept climbing. Higher than expected. Higher than normal. Higher than any human ship ever recorded. Inside the human flagship, alarms rang softly. Sparks fell from the ceiling. Crew members worked fast but calm. The human captain stood with hands behind his back. "Status," he said. "Shields holding. Weapons charging. Core stable." The captain nodded. "Maintain course." Outside, the massive Korthian armada began to move. Ships spread out. They were surrounding the lone human vessel. Thousands against one, from the station. The observers watched, unable to speak. A small human ship facing an empire. No reinforcements coming. No escape path. The human flagship. Did not turn. It did not flee. It did not slow. It flew straight into the heart of the enemy formation, on the human hull. Old letters became visible as sensors zoomed in. A name, HFS Resolute. The human captain looked at the burning wall of enemy ships ahead. His voice was calm. Let them come. The galaxy held its breath, because the humans had not arrived to beg. They had arrived to prove something, and that Corthians were about to learn the cost of underestimating humanity. The human flagship continued forward. Slow. Steady. Unstoppable. Around it, Corthian warships completed their encirclement. Thousands of cannons locked onto the lone vessel. Missile bays opened. Energy cores charged. On the Corthian command ship, the fleet admiral watched with cold amusement. They still advance, he said. Humans are either brave or stupid. Shall we destroy them? An officer asked. Not yet, the admiral replied. Cripple them first. Let them beg. Orders flashed across the Corthian fleet. Target. Human engines. Fire in sequence. Do not destroy. Hundreds of beams erupted at once. Space turned white. Energy slammed into the human flagship from all directions. The shields flared bright blue. The ship shook. Inside the Resolute, the deck trembled under heavy impact. Warning lights flashed. Crew members grabbed rails. Shields at 80%, 75. Minor hull breaches on outer armor. The human captain did not shout. He did not panic. Reroute power from secondary systems to shields, he ordered. Aye. Forward guns ready? Yes, sir. The bombardment continued. Corthian commanders waited to see engines fail. They waited to see the human ship drift. It did not happen. The Resolute kept moving, straight toward the center of the famed the Corthian formation. Confusion spread among Corthian sensor crews. They are not slowing. Shields regenerating. That is not possible. On the Alliance station, observers stared in disbelief. No single ship should survive this, but the human ship did. Inside the Resolute, the captain watched the tactical display. Enemy ships everywhere. Perfect. Targets. Open a channel, he said. No reply came from the Corthians. The captain nodded once. Fire main cannons. The Resolute's forward hull split open. Long barrel energy. Cannons slid into position. They glowed white-hot, then they fired. 2 beams of compressed energy ripped through space. They struck a Corthian cruiser directly in its center. The ship did not explode. It folded inward. Its armor collapsed. Its core shattered. In less than 1 second, the cruiser vanished in a silent flash. Shock rippled through the Corthian fleet. What weapon was that? A Corthian officer whispered. The human ship fired again. Another cruiser disappeared. Then another. 3 ships gone in moments. Panic replaced laughter. Full assault. The Corthian admiral shouted, "Destroy that ship!" Missiles launched by the thousands. Swarm clouds of death filled space. The Resolute launched point defense turrets. Hundreds of small guns came alive. Streams of fire tore missiles apart. Explosions surrounded the ship like a burning storm. Some missiles hit. The ship rocked violently. Hull plates tore loose. Fires broke out on lower decks. Crew members were thrown to the floor. Damage control teams moving. Shields at 60%, multiple breaches. The captain stood firm. Hold the line. He looked at the enemy display. So many targets. Switched to secondary batteries. New weapons activated. Rapid-fire plasma cannons opened up. They shredded smaller. Corthian ships. Fighters vanished in clouds of burning debris. The Resolute did not retreat. It pushed deeper. Corthian formations began to lose shape. Ships tried to pull back. Others crashed into each other in confusion. "Admiral," a Corthian officer said, voice shaking, "we are taking heavy losses." The admiral clenched his claws. "It is one ship." He roared, "One!" Yet the battlefield said otherwise. The human flagship burned. It bled, but it advanced. Inside the Resolute, a young officer looked at the captain. "Sir, should we fall back?" The captain shook his head. "No." He turned toward the viewport. Fire and wreckage, thousands of enemy ships waited. "This is where we stand." The human ship surged forward, weapons blazing, shields glowing. Alone, outnumbered, unyielding, and the Corthians were beginning to realize something terrifying. The humans had not come to survive. They had come to fight. The battlefield no longer looked controlled. It looked chaotic. Burning wreckage drifted in every direction. Broken Corthian ships tumbled slowly through space. The human flagship kept moving forward, still alone, still advancing. Corthian commanders struggled to understand. "No species fights like this." One officer said, "They do not retreat. They do not break formation. They do not ask for mercy." The Corthian admiral watched the tactical display in disbelief. Human weapons were powerful, but that was not the worst part. The worst part was how the humans fought. Human ship is opening. Multiple small bays, a sensor officer reported. Launching objects. Dozens. Then hundreds. Small metal pods shot out from the human flagship. They did not explode. They did not fire. They flew straight toward Corthian ships. "What are those?" The admiral demanded. Inside the pods, human soldiers waited, boarding teams. The pods slammed into Corthian hulls, magnetic clamps locked. Cutting torches burned through alien armor. Human soldiers poured inside. Inside the first Corthian cruiser, alarms screamed. Corridors filled with smoke. Corthian troops rushed to meet the intruders. The first human stepped through the breach. He carried a heavy rifle. He did not hesitate. He fired. Corthian soldiers fell. Humans advanced in tight groups, moved slowly. They covered each other. They did not stop for wounded. Medics dragged injured humans back while others pushed forward. Corthian soldiers had faced pirates. They had faced rebels. They had never faced this. Humans fought up close. Humans aimed for critical systems, power nodes. Command rooms. Engine controls. They did not try to capture ships. They crippled them. One boarding team reached a Corthian reactor room. A human officer placed a device on the core. Charge set. They ran. The cruiser exploded seconds later. More human pods struck more ships. Boarding action spread across the battlefield. Inside Corthian vessels, fear grew. Humans are inside the ship. They are in engineering. They are everywhere. Some Corthian crews abandoned their posts. Others tried to self-destruct. But human teams jammed controls. Outside, the Resolute launched another surprise. Panels on its hull opened. Hundreds of small machines poured out. Drones. Black. Fast. Silent. They swarmed toward enemy ships. The drones attached to hulls, drilled inside, then exploded from within. Ship after ship went dark. The Corthian formation began to collapse. Pull back. Some captains shouted, but escape lanes were clogged with wreckage. Human fire cut through fleeing ships. Inside the Resolute, the bridge was damaged. Smoke filled the air. Sparks fell from broken cables. Crew members worked with bloody hands. Shields at 40%. Main cannon overheating. The captain looked tired, but his eyes burned with focus. "Keep pressure on them." A tactical officer hesitated. "Sir, losses are heavy." The captain nodded. "I know." He paused. "Are we breaking them?" The officer checked sensors. Corthian ships were retreating. Formation shattered. Command channels filled with panic. "Yes, sir." The captain allowed himself a small nod. On the Corthian flagship, chaos ruled. Reports flooded in. 30 ships lost. Boarding parties everywhere. Drones inside hulls. The Admiral slammed his claw on the console. How can one ship do this? No one answered, because they were starting to understand. Humans did not rely only on technology. Humans relied on will, on stubbornness, on refusal to accept defeat. The Resolute pushed deeper into the heart of the fleet, straight toward the Corthian flagship. Enemy fire focused on it. Beams tore chunks from its armor. Explosions rocked its sides. Still, it moved. Inside the bridge, a console exploded. A crew member fell. Another took his place. No one screamed. No one ran. The captain looked at the massive enemy flagship ahead. Target locked, said the weapons officer. The captain spoke quietly. Prepare all forward weapons. The human ship accelerated. The distance between predator and prey closed, and for the first time in centuries, the Corthian Empire felt something unfamiliar. Fear. The distance between the human flagship and the Corthian flagship shrank fast. Both ships had taken heavy damage, but only one was still advancing with purpose. Resolute burned. Large sections of its armor were gone. Fires glowed through open wounds in its hull, yet its engines burned bright. Inside the Corthian flagship, alarms screamed without pause. Human ship is closing. Multiple system failures. Boarding teams still inside several decks. The Corthian admiral stared at the tactical display. So many red markers. So many lost ships. This was not how conquest was supposed to look. The human vessel should have been scrapped. Instead, it looked like a moving fortress of anger. Open a channel, the admiral said. A moment later, the human captain appeared on screen. Smoke drifted behind him. Sparks fell from the ceiling. He looked exhausted, but his eyes were steady. Human captain, the admiral said carefully. This battle has gone far enough. The human said nothing. The admiral continued. We are willing to discuss terms, a ceasefire, a new agreement between our peoples. Silence hung between them. The admiral leaned forward. There is no need for further bloodshed. The human captain finally spoke. You came to enslave us. The admiral hesitated. You would have been given protection, technology, a place in the empire. The human captain's expression hardened. You said the same thing to our colonies. The admiral frowned. Explain. The human captain tapped a control. Images appeared, burning human cities, civilians running, Corthian troops executing unarmed people, children hiding in ruins. The bridge of the Corthian flagship grew quiet. These were border worlds. The human captain said, small colonies, poorly defended. He pointed at the screen. You destroyed them. No ultimatum, no warning. The admiral looked away. Those actions were taken by local commanders. The human captain shook his head. You were the same symbol. He leaned closer to the camera. We did not come here to talk. The admiral straightened. Then why are you here? The human captain answered without hesitation. Justice. A heavy silence followed. The admiral tried one last time. If you continue, both our forces will suffer catastrophic losses. The human captain nodded. Yes. Then you accept mutual destruction? The human captain's voice was calm. We accept sacrifice. The admiral's eyes widened. Your ship will not survive this. The human captain glanced around his bridge. At wounded crew members. At burning panels. At people who stayed at their posts. Then he looked back. They knew that before we arrived. The admiral felt a cold feeling in his chest. What do you want? The human captain answered softly. For you to stop existing. The channel cut. On the Resolute's bridge. The captain turned to his crew. Begin charging the core weapon. Several officers paused. They all knew what that meant. The ship carried an experimental Weapon. Unstable. Short range, extremely powerful. Using it would likely destroy the Resolute as well. Charge sequence started. The weapons officer said. Energy levels began to spike. Deep inside the ship, the reactor roared. Outside, Corthian sensors detected the surge. Human ship power output rising to dangerous levels. The Admiral's blood ran cold. They intend to ram or detonate. All ships fall back, he shouted. But retreat was slow. Too slow. The Resolute kept moving forward. Its hull glowed with building energy. Cracks spread along its surface. The human captain held the armrest of his chair. Steady. A young officer looked at him. Sir, we may not survive. The captain gave a small smile. That was never the mission. The Resolute closed to point-blank range with the Corthian flagship. Two giants facing each other in burning space. One trying to escape, one refusing to stop. The galaxy watched in stunned silence because the humans were about to show the meaning of their final choice, and there was no turning back. The distance between the two flagships vanished. The human ship was so close that Corthian armor plates were visible. Cracked. Burning. Panicked. Corthian crews scrambled across their bridge. Human ship within lethal range. Energy levels spiking beyond safe limits. The Corthian admiral stared at the human vessel. It looked broken. It looked half dead. Yet it still advanced. Relentless. Unstoppable. Divert all power to forward shields. The admiral shouted. Corthian engineers pushed their systems beyond limits. Shield generators screamed. Lights flickered on the Resolute. The situation was worse. Fire burned across multiple decks. Atmosphere vented into space. Bodies floated in zero gravity corridors. Still, human crew remained at their posts. Core weapon at 90%. Structural integrity failing. The human captain stood. He did not sit anymore. He wanted to face the end. On his feet, he looked around his bridge. Men and women. Young and old. Soldiers. Engineers. Pilots. All human. All unafraid. You have done your duty, he said quietly. No one moved. No one tried to escape. The weapons officer swallowed. Core weapon, 100%. The captain nodded. Lock onto enemy flagship. Locked. Outside, the Resolute's hull began to glow blinding white. Energy leaked from cracks like small suns. The Corthian admiral realized the truth. This was not a weapon. This was an execution. Emergency jump, he screamed. Engines failed. Human drones and boarding teams had already crippled them. The admiral turned toward the screen. For a brief moment, the human captain appeared. No anger. No hatred. Only resolve. Humans never surrender. The human said. The transmission ended. The Resolute fired. A sphere of pure energy erupted from its bow. It did not behave like a beam. It expanded. A growing sun. It slammed into the Corthian flagship. Armor vaporized instantly. Shields collapsed like paper. The massive alien ship was torn apart from the inside. Hafea. Shockwave exploded outward. The Corthian flagship ceased to exist. At the same moment, the Resolute's core overloaded. The human flagship shattered in a brilliant explosion. Two Titans vanished in blinding light. Silence followed, then debris. Thousands of Corthian ships were thrown off course. Many were crippled. Some were destroyed by the shockwave. Others lost power completely. The remaining Corthian commanders did not hesitate. Retreat. Fall back. What remains of the fleet, jump out now. Corthian ships fled in all directions. They did not regroup. They did not counterattack. They ran. On the Galactic Alliance station, no one spoke. They had just witnessed something impossible. One human ship had broken an empire's invasion, not with numbers. Not with superior fleet size, but with will. Alliance. Analysts reviewed the battle. The conclusion was simple. Humans would fight to the last ship. Humans would accept extinction before surrender. Humans were not conquerors, but when pushed, they became executioners. Days later, a single message echoed across known space. Broadcast on every frequency, translated into every language. Human territories are under permanent protection. Any hostile action will be answered. Humans do not surrender. No empire challenged that message. No fleet tested it. From that day forward, whenever a human ship appeared in contested space, enemies backed away because the galaxy remembered. 1. Damaged flagship. 1 impossible stand, one sacrifice that rewrote history. And that is why the galaxy now teaches its young. Never corner a human. Never threaten their home. Because humans do not kneel, humans do not break, humans never surrender.